great tragedy here. You go get yourself another appointment.
Well, Estelle tried, you know. The casting director told her I missed my chance.
Phoebe forgot to tell Joey about his audition, so he missed it. And now the casting director refuses to give him another chance.
I'll call her. I'll tell her it was totally my fault.
Phoebe, you can't do that. The casting director doesn't talk to friends. She only talks to agents.
What a sad little life she must lead.
To lead a life means to live in a particular way, often implying a consistent pattern or quality. After retiring, they lead a peaceful life by the lake. After retiring, they lead a peaceful life by the lake. She leads a very active life, always traveling and meeting new people. She leads a very active life, always traveling and meeting new people. Before the accident, he led a very dangerous life as a race car driver. Before the accident, he led a very dangerous life as a race car driver.
The casting director doesn't talk to friends. She only talks to agents.
What a sad little life she must lead.
The joke here is that Phoebe misunderstands the context. She thinks Joey means the casting director is a person who has no friends and only talks to agents in her entire life. So she sarcastically says her life must be very sad and lonely.
Hi, this is Caitlin from Phoebe Buffay's office. Is Anne there for Phoebe?
Who did you speak to in my office? Estelle? No, I don't know what I'm going to do with her. No. All right, so your husband leaves you and then burns down the apartment. The world does not stop.
This line is pure Phoebe and can be a bit confusing. The last sentence is a bizarre, exaggerated analogy that Phoebe uses to tell the casting director, stop making excuses and get over it. Let's break it down. Your husband leaves you and burns down the apartment. This is Phoebe's made-up, worst-case scenario example of a personal tragedy. The world does not stop. This is her main point. It means no matter how bad things get, life goes on and you still have to do your job.
All right, so your husband leaves you and then burns down the apartment. The world does not stop.
Is anybody else scared?
In her own weird way, Phoebe is saying, even if you had a massive personal disaster, like your husband leaving you and burning down the apartment, you would still be expected to carry on with your professional life. So a minor professional hiccup, like talking to the wrong person at my office, is not a valid reason to be difficult about rescheduling Joey's audition.
Annie, you are a doll. What time can you see him? I need a pen.
You're a doll is a warm, informal, and affectionate way to say you're very kind, helpful, or sweet. It's used to express sincere gratitude when someone does something nice for you, especially a small, thoughtful favor. However, this phrase is more old-fashioned and is used less commonly nowadays. Although people still might use it occasionally, it's more likely to be said by older generations. Nowadays, people often use more modern expressions like, you're the best, you're awesome, you're an angel, or you're so sweet to convey a similar meaning.
And if having the perfect wedding makes you happy, then that's what we're gonna do.
You're so sweet.
You gotta get me an audition.
Oh, I don't know, man. I haven't talked to her in like 10 years.
Will you make the call or what?
Oh, okay, I'll try.
All right, thanks. You're the best.
Hi, I have Phoebe Buffay returning a page. Okay, well, she's in her car. I'll have to patch you through.
When someone says they will patch you through, it means they will connect your phone call to someone else. So if an operator says, I'm going to patch you through to customer service, they're simply transferring your call.
Okay, well, she's in her car. I'll have to patch you through.
Very nice touch.
In this context, nice touch means a small but clever, effective, or a stylish detail that makes something better. It's an addition that shows extra thought or creativity and enhances the overall effect. Rachel is complimenting Phoebe on the specific detail of adding, she's in her car, I'll have to patch you through. So, Rachel is essentially saying that the small detail you added was very clever and made the lie much more convincing. You can use nice touch to compliment small details in many situations. 1. At a party or event. The custom cocktail napkins with a guest name on them were a nice touch. The custom cocktail napkins with a guest name on them were a nice touch, meaning it was a small, thoughtful detail that made the party feel more personal. 2. In a restaurant. The complimentary appetizer the chef sent out was a nice touch. The complimentary appetizer the chef sent out was a nice touch, meaning it was a small, unexpected gesture that improved the dining experience. 3. About a gift. The handwritten note you included with the gift was a nice touch. The handwritten note you included with the gift was a nice touch, meaning it was a small personal detail that made the gift more meaningful.
Oh, okay, will he work for scale, you ask me? Well, I don't know about that. Except that I do and he will. Will he work for scale, you ask me?
To work for a scale or to take a job for a scale means to accept the minimum union mandated payment for a job, often for the sake of passion or experience. In the entertainment industry, scale is the minimum wage rate that producers are allowed to pay a performer for a specific type of work as negotiated by their union. It is the baseline pay rate. A well-known star would typically be paid far more than a scale. When Annie asks, will he work for a scale, she is essentially asking, is he willing to accept the lowest pay for this job?
Oh, you are such a sweetheart. I would love to have lunch with you. How about we have lunch next? Oop, went through a tunnel.
For his first TV appearance, he agreed to work for a scale because he loved the project. For his first TV appearance, he agreed to work for a scale because he loved the project.
That's so amazing. Could you do me this huge favor? See, there's this one other audition that I really, really want, and Estelle couldn't get me in.
In this context, get in means to secure a spot, to gain entry, or to arrange an appointment. To secure a spot means to successfully obtain or ensure a position, opportunity, or a space, often through effort or competition. Get in or into almost always carries a sense of overcoming some kind of barrier, whether it's a full schedule, high competition, a locked door, or a strict guest list. In Joey's case, the barrier was the close audition that his own agent didn't have the influence to bypass.
See, there's this one other audition that I really, really want, and Estelle couldn't get me in.
So, Joey's line, Estelle couldn't get me in, simply means she couldn't get me an audition. She couldn't get me a chance to try out. You can use getting in many situations where gaining access to a limited or desirable place is involved. The restaurant is fully booked, but I know the manager, so she might be able to get us in. The restaurant is fully booked, but I know the manager, so she might be able to get us in. Meaning, she might be able to get us a table.
Wow, you look nice. What's the occasion?
Monica and I are celebrating our 10-month anniversary. Got reservations at Jean Georges.
Wow. How'd you get in there?
Well, I made a few calls.
How'd you get in there?
The concert has been sold out for months. How did you get in? The concert has been sold out for months. How did you get in? Meaning, how did you manage to get a ticket or entry?
You see if your mom can give my resume to Dennis Phillips? Because if I could get in a Broadway show, then I would have done it all. Film, television, and theater.
His grades were excellent, so he got into his first choice college. His grades were excellent, so he got into his first choice college, meaning he was accepted.
By the way, we have some really good news.
What's that? Becky got into the University of Oregon.
Oh, congratulations.
Becky got into the University of Oregon.
The nightclub has a huge line, but if you're on the guest list, you can get in right away. The nightclub has a huge line, but if you're on the guest list, you can get in right away, meaning you can enter immediately. This concept of a barrier in the phrasal verb get into also applies to outfits, as Jay's line perfectly demonstrates.
Everybody, get your things. We have to leave Juarez right now.
What? It took me 45 minutes to get into this outfit.
Here, the barrier isn't a locked door or a competitive audition. It's the physical challenge of putting on the clothes due to its complicated design, multiple zippers or buttons. Jay is humorously emphasizing that it was a difficult struggle he had to overcome.
Okay, a little problem. The key broke in the lock and I